Alright guys, Supreme Kami here, and today we are going to be taking a look at the updated Arena Coin Exchange here because we have gotten a brand new unit. Not really like completely 100% authentic new, but we have gotten like another alternative attribute. As far as when this is going to be updated, it is going to be am I seeing that right? 2023, January 15. Wow. Can't even imagine how the world looks like in that long of a time frame after. But let's take a look at the overall unit. So the one that was replaced, going to be replaced, is going to be the Gundam Versaco. So now it's definitely going to be the time to see if you guys have maxed it out yet. If not, definitely try to see if you want to max out anything, because it's not bad. Because when I did the review probably a few months ago, it's actually quite good. But this time around, we are going to be taking a look at the alternative attribute for the Moon Gundam. This time around, it's going to be a P attribute, while the standard version, that one is going to be a tech attribute. So it looks like they did not add in any, let's say, brand new EXQ or brand new part. Is pretty much going to be a copy and paste, a different attribute, and probably better said if I want to say that right now. So let's take a look at it. How is it as far as the stat, as far as the part trait, EXQ wise? I don't know if they change any damage, let's say like the power modify, for example, because from what I remember from the standard Moon Gundam's backpack, that one probably has like a D power, if I recall. But let's take a look at it side by side compared to the standard version and see how it looks like. Alright, so I do have the Moon Gundam all prepped out already. So as far as the base stat, this is we are looking at it at a base level 80, no gold marks whatsoever. So it's not looking too shabby. In terms of the melee attack, it's definitely quite high, but no melee defense, sadly. So it's not gonna really benefit too much from, let's say, the melee change conversion gear. As far as the shot, it's not bad. So right now we do have that mid-range active vortex, so that's why it is a little bit inflated, but overall it does look pretty good. So what about the other following, let's say, vortex? We have Exosusu for space, so that's actually quite good. If you do, let's say, get the other two active vortex for space and Exosusu, this right here should look like a pretty good starting out unit just for like a new player, for example, or just anyone that needs something. So not bad overall. So let's take a look at it at the full stat here. Okay, so 7,757, so that's not bad. Does have some pretty good shot defense, so I'll definitely take that. For space and mid range. And what about the portrait? Oof. 200 armor gradually. Like they couldn't give us like a percentage. You serious? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, because as far as our, let's say, our armor pool, like in terms of combination, I feel like recently we have been getting a lot of units that has some pretty ridiculously high armor base. So I feel like percentage is definitely going to be the biggest contributing factor as to replenishing that. As far as like a flat side like that, it's just not going to be anything sufficient enough. So it sucks, even if they give us like 1 or 2 percentage, that would definitely make our lives a lot more easier in terms of recovering. But yeah, 200 armor squat, nah, no, we can't do that. No sir, no sir. As far as the torso, we do have some pretty good. Melee attack is definitely pretty strong, but the defense does not support it at all. As for the shot attack, looking pretty good. Shot defense definitely very good. Mid-range exclusive, that is definitely a very good war tag combo there. As far as portrait, we do have 1P attribute self. Squad cooldown down by 12%. That's, yeah, this one, yeah, whenever they make the squad edition, especially if you look at it at a standard or welfare, they have just really low percentage. I'm not gonna call this completely an L. It's still very much usable. The only thing is like you just won't get that clock in or 100% cooldown with just 5 point on its own. You'll definitely do, like, I would actually put, I don't know, I feel like this one is still good enough if you put this on like any of your ally build and then your own main build. It really all depends how you want to play with the number. So let's say you don't have like a natural build that has 100%, and then you sub this one in, instantly gets a 12% to your overall squad. It's helpful in that situation, right? So I guess this one is actually pretty good if you need something like that. So you would just put this on anyone that needs it, I guess. And then like what you can also do, you can put this on 3 builds, like on 3 of like your squad build, right? You have three whole builds. You can probably slap this on everyone's build. Granted, they all do have the BPH build, and then you should be able to clock in a good 36%, collectively, and then everyone's still benefiting from that. So that's good. You're gonna do it like that, but 12%. I wish they would have clocked that in at maybe like a 15%. That'll be good, because in terms of limited part, they clocks in at 90%. So I do want that gap to be a little bit closer. 12% is just being too harsh, but it's still good. It's definitely still pretty good depending on if you're using it right. So not bad. Up next, we do have the arm does have EX skill, so that's gonna be the butterfly edge. So this one is only sitting at C power. Just kind of unfortunate that there's no alteration for the standard, so we can't get a good comparison of what it could be after alteration. So this one naturally should turns up to like a A power naturally, just by how things usually goes. But overall war tag wise, still pretty good. Ace exclusive, and then mid range. As far as the stats, still looking fairly decent. 9k for the melee, almost 3k for the actual shot attack, and then shot defense breaking at 4k. So that's looking pretty good. Not gonna lie. Over to the leg portion of it, we do have some pretty janky portrait. Enemy EXQ penetration reduced by 45%. It's not. I don't know. I feel like reducing the penetration doesn't really help all that much. It's just more of a kind of like a dead trade. Not really dead trade, but it's just not really sufficient. So yeah, kind of wasted right there. So stat wise, it's pretty much gonna be following what we have seen so far. So melee is gonna be really good. The actual base shot attack is not really that high, and then your shot defense is gonna be pretty good. So they are gonna be continuing that trend. As far as the war tag wise, you do have for space and mid range again. So okay. Taking a look at the back part now, so going to be the same stat distribution once again, so not too bad for this specific model that I'm going with. As far as the war tag, we do have for space and mid-range once again. As for the EXQ, we do have the cycle plates. This EXQ alone is a very powerful melee EXQ, so I'm definitely excited to compare this one to the standard. I did take a look at the standard version of it, and the standard version does actually have it at a B+ power again. So what I'll actually be doing, I will be running 2 different testing. I will have the standard one compared to the Welper or the arena exchangeable one, and see is there any power differences. I don't expect to be any discrepancy. I think they should pretty much have nearly the same power output. Keep that in mind. Damage fluctuation is the thing, so I'm just gonna assume it should have the same, relatively the same, plus or minus a little bit of a variant, but yeah, not bad overall. So standard one is not losing out by any chance. So, okay, that's good to note. Moving over to the Beam Tomahawk, so this one, 50% chance of surviving a fatal blow. I have never actually triggered this portrait before, so I don't know how that actually works. I don't know. For those who have tried this portrait out, let me know how that actually works. So when you do die, like what kind of HP do you come back with? Do you come back with like 1 HP? I think this is definitely something worth testing out, but I don't like 50% seems pretty high, but what are the chances you just don't let it 50 like all the time? I don't know. This one seems like a pretty RNG base, which I don't know if I like that, but sounds pretty interesting to me, I guess. But axe category, not really that best, honestly, so kind of unfortunate. Same war tag, mid range, and then for space. And what about the beam rifle? Pretty good stat all rounds, and then this one 60% chance of not recalling. So this one pretty much means you're not getting stunned. So okay, I'll give it that. But 60% seems pretty high. But I mean, like, you still have that option, so it's not activating. So yeah, ace exclusive, and then mid range once again. So pretty good. Having that shot defense definitely helps out, teeny tiny bit. So we'll definitely give it that. So that should be pretty much it as far as, let's say, the base parameter for the arena exchangeable Moon Gundam. So up next, I do want to do some damage comparison, because I'm eager to see is there going to be any damage, discrepancy. I don't think there is, just my guess for now, but we shall see after do some testing. Alright guys, with that being said, that is going to be pretty much it as far as the arena exchangeable Moon Gundam here. So as far as the back part EXQ, the cycle frame or the cycle plate, it's pretty much identical in terms of the damage output, so no discrepancy here. So if you guys have not maxed out the standard version and then you have been wanting to get this one, the arena exchangeable one is definitely going to be for you guys. As for the portrait, I just feel like it's lacking in a sense. These portraits are not magnificent at all. Like these are probably the worst we have seen. Like these two, like you can say they're alright. You know, the first one's probably like a final blow, whatever. But it's a 50%. Like what is it like? I don't know. I just don't want to kind of rely on those RNG like because like whatever this in proctor, right? So it's kind of sad. Like probably the torso can say yeah, it kind of works, but man, that 12% squad, you gotta really do some number to see how is that gonna affect your squad or how is that gonna help your squad. But overall it's not bad, you know, just having just the alternative attribute, just, you know, it's kind of cool and all that. But do let me know how you guys feel about the arena exchangeable Moon Gundam, and then I'll catch you guys on the next one.